And good evening now. Thanks for being with us. Darcy has the night off. We're beginning with politics and tomorrow's election. State election leaders aren't sure what to expect in terms of voter turnout, but if it's anything like absentee ballots, it's going to be a very busy day. That's because absentee voting has already set a record for the midterms. News 19's Jacob Reynolds tells us more.
The State Election Commission says 269,000 absentee ballots have been returned, a midterm election record. In the last midterms in 2014, 157,000 people cast absentee ballots. Election Commission spokesman Chris Whitmire says it's unclear if the trend will continue on Election Day.
So the argument is, well, are these just people who would have been voting on Election Day and they're voting absentee? Certainly that's a possibility, because when we look at numbers over the past 20 years, we see that the percentage of people who vote absentee continues to rise.
But Whitmire thinks the high numbers show more than just convenience.
On the other hand, a 100,000 plus voter increase over 2014, I don't know if all of that can be explained by just a tendency toward more and more people taking advantage of absentee.
Richland County Election Director Roki Suleiman says he's not sure if the interest will carry Election Day to a record number for midterms.
Well, we don't know. We think that typically what happens with absentee voting, it doesn't increase the turnout, it spreads the turnout over an extended period of time. We won't know until tomorrow whether this is indicative of a really high interest, or if people are just seeing that there's so much on television across the country about early voting and in-person absentee voting that they're just coming out and doing it now.
Polls are open across the state on Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. In Columbia, Jacob Reynolds, News 19 WLTX.
And Whitmire adds that South Carolina midterm elections normally bring in about 44 to 54% of registered voters. 4 years ago, 44% took part in the midterms.